Hey everybody, and welcome to Aniki, the podcast about anime with two brothers. I'm Ben.
And I'm simply normal as I own a mountain.
Doesn't everyone own a mountain? I mean, I own a mountain.
Who doesn't own a mountain? I mean, I've got like 3 in my backyard.
Can't trespass on
Actually,
mine,
I kind of do if you look out my window. I've got like a whole rim of mountains.
I have a hill over there, sort of. It's big. It's more like a ditch, if we're being honest.
I mean, I don't have any hill. Well, my yard is kind of on a slope, so does that count? But if I look out my window, I do have like legit mountains, so that's nice.
That must be nice. All I see
They
are
don't have
dachshunds.
snow on them yet. They don't have snow on them yet, but they will soon.
Soon the seasons will pass.
I mean, they do that.
So what have you been up to since last we spoke?
Well, Annie and I both decided that we prefer Kamen Rider over Super Sentai, so we decided to switch from Tokyuger, which does have amazing trains, to Kamen Rider, the newest one, because it just ended like 2 months ago. I think it rolls over in August.
What's
June?
the newest one?
July?
What's his gimmick?
The newest one is something like Exo, and it's time travel, where he gets to be all of the other Kamen Riders. But the one that just finished up that we started is Kamen Rider Build. His gimmick is science.
Bill?
Build,
Oh,
as in to build something.
I was
not
hoping
as
it was
in
going to be
charge.
Bill Nye the Science Guy,
Oh,
because that would totally work.
Yeah, well, I mean, he kind of is. He's like a scientist.
Does he wear a
And
lab
he puts
coat?
he puts 2 little test tubes into his driver, and he cranks it up, and it combines the 2 liquids, and it's a really cool Henshin. Let's see here.
And off it goes?
Kamen Rider Build. It's ZO is the new one. Build Henshin. It's very good. He beats monsters with math.
He seems like a legit professor.
He beats people with math. His vortex finish makes like a 3D graph, and he like attacks on the graph. It's really cool.
Are these equations going to hit this guy?
No, unfortunately not. No, his vortex finishes are really good though.
This guy is cranking up his rabbit tank.
Yeah, he does. Full Metal Moonsault.
Wow. Full metal moonsault?
Full Metal Moonsault.
Okay.
That's the name of that attack. What do you want
Because
from
he's
me?
a rabbit? I don't get the salt part. Oh.
It's like a somersault.
Oh. I thought maybe assault tank. I like how nonchalant these actors are about how ridiculous everything is.
Told you, he attacks with graphs. He kills people with math.
And, test tubes, apparently.
Well, he gets test tubes and stuff, but I'm not going to watch that full video, because I don't want to see all the different best matches, because half the fun of a Kamen Rider is seeing all their forms.
Seeing how ridiculous it could possibly get.
They get really cool forms, okay? I don't want to spoil a sweet, sweet form action.
What else you been up to?
Well, we got the Kingdom Hearts bundle in preparation of Kingdom Hearts 3. Bless my heart, I'm going to try one more time to understand what the heck's going on in Kingdom Hearts.
I thought the first one I could follow.
The first one is it's very easy to follow. The first one, Ben.
I didn't play the second one.
Well, did you play the game that was in between the first one and the second one that came out for DS? That wasn't very good?
Did not.
Then you'll have no idea what's going on.
Oh. That's unfortunate.
Oh, it only gets worse from there.
See, at the end of the first one, they were like, we're going to go save our other friend.
Oh, see, if only. If only life was that simple. I was talking about Kingdom Hearts 3 with one of my friends at church, and he only has an Xbox, and Kingdom Hearts 3 is coming out on Xbox, and he was like, well, I'll probably get it, because, it's the first time on the console, so surely it'll be a standalone game. And I was like, no.
You poor sweet summer child.
Sweet summer child. If only Kingdom Hearts had standalone games, you'll have no idea what's going on, because there have been, no joke, about 11 games between Kingdom Hearts 2 and 3.
Oh my goodness.
And heaven help you if you didn't play that one obscure mobile title that came out only in Japan.
On the PSP, probably.
Well, don't worry, because if you have the Final Mix bundle, which I have, you can see all of the videos and read all the reports and all the lore that are in those games that you could not play.
Ah. That's smart of them.
I'm going to give it the old college try, because I'm playing Kingdom Hearts 1.5 Final Mix right now, and then I'll play Kingdom Hearts... It's the one with the cards. It's not very good.
I wouldn't know.
Then I'll play Kingdom Hearts 2.5 Final Mix, and then I'll play a couple other games, and then Kingdom Hearts 2.8 Final Mix Prelude. I think that's the name of it.
You're getting into, like, Super Robot Tyson
land it's garbage
of names here.
Oh, the names are garbage. You also have to understand that the name of it is Kingdom Hearts. Hold on. 2.8. It's written like that, and those are two I's.
I hate everything about that.
Oh no, it is garbage. The naming convention of
That's
Kingdom
clearly
Hearts is just
11.8.
Well, it's two Roman numeral I's.
Boo.
Like right now, I'm playing Kingdom Hearts I.5 HD Remix.
Super
Which I
Robot
believe is how it is
Tyson
spelled.
Saga OG Endless Frontier.
Yeah, if only. Hey, that would be better than their naming convention. Now, Kingdom Hearts 2.5 HD Remix does include actual Kingdom Hearts 2, but Kingdom Hearts 2.8 does not have Kingdom Hearts 2 in it.
That makes sense.
Doesn't it, though?
I didn't follow any of that. And I
It's
suspect no
okay.
one else
It's
does
No one can follow it. Unless you're listening to Kingdom Smarts,
either.
you can't follow any of it.
That's a good podcast name. I like that.
Well, it's Jake Mason and
Well, of course it is. Who else would it be?
what's her name? Shannon Maynor. Shannon Maynor explains Kingdom Hearts to Jake Mason 30 minutes at a time.
How are they going
He
on
almost
that?
understands what's going on.
As his
I think
brain exploded.
I know, right? It's such garbage. It's impossible. You literally need somebody to like sit down with you and slowly explain to you how it works, because it is madness.
Now, whose fault is
Mostly-
that? Is that Disney's fault or is that the Japanese?
So, as the story has been told, the person who was in charge of the franchise was like, so this is a Disney Squeenix crossover. So we'll just make it nice and simple and fun. Simple and clean, even.
Mm-hmm.
And the execs at Squeenix were like, no, this is a Squeenix game.
That's not how we roll.
Our fans can handle complex games. So you can have a complex plot. And he just like cracked his knuckles and was like, all right, buckle up, boys and girls. Here we go. It's the fact that there's like 5 different characters that all steal names from each other. So even if you can understand the plot, you still have to deal with the fact that there's like 3 fake Ikagis running around.
Oh boy.
Oh, and it's just garbage.
Oh dear.
Because there's Ansem, fake Ansem, like a double fake Ansem, and then a Norded Ansem, and then like, man, it's just, yeah.
That sounds worse than a normal Final Fantasy game.
Oh, and there's just no reason for it either. If you just gave them different names, it would be fine. But do they? No.
Sounds like
That'd be too easy.
He was given a challenge and he's like,
Oh yeah,
I'll show
he
you.
rose to it. After I heard that was one of the reasons why it's so complicated, I decided I didn't mind how complex it was anymore, because it's like, oh well, then he has set out to do this because somebody was like, no, you can make a complex game that's hard to understand.
sure, why not?
Why not? What have you done? Anything?
What have I done? Not a whole lot. It's been very busy. I did finish the last Space Trilogy book from C.S. Lewis.
Oh yeah, how was that?
So all 3 of those books are wildly different from each other, other than some underlying themes and one particular character.
Oh, there you go.
So the first one is like normal pulp fiction for the time. The second one is like The Magician's Nephew. It's like that, except for adults.
Sure. Yeah.
And then the last one is straight up dystopian fiction. And it's like a sci-fi thriller-ish thing.
Huh. Interesting.
It's they're not really the same series, but they are the same series.
Weird.
I think it was good, except, as one guy pointed out, when you end up in a situation where one side is with the devil and the other side is aligned with heaven, you already know who's going to win at the beginning of the book.
I mean, generally speaking, yeah.
So it's just a matter of how they get there.
Yep.
I will tell you, Merlin shows up.
Oh, that's nice.
Also, there's a bear. He's important.
Okay. That's nice.
So, there's that.
There is that.
Mm-hmm.
I also went to go see Searching. Excellent film. Highly recommend.
Searching. I'm not familiar with this name.
It's not an anime, but it's very good.
Searching.
Would recommend.
I want to know what it's about. Film. A thriller film.
Have you heard of Unfriended?
Oh, is that the one with...
With the haunted Skype?
I am familiar with it because of memes, yes.
Okay, so it's not very good, right? Like,
Correct.
Unfriended is not very good, but it sort of pioneered this genre of like a computer screen film.
Mm-hmm.
Searching is a computer screen film, but this is the one that it really sells you on the concept of a computer screen film.
Ah. Okay.
where Unfriended was just like, hey, look, you could tell a story like this. Not a very good story, mind you. In fact, it's really bad, but you could.
Yeah.
Searching is like, well, that seems like a good idea. Let me do that for real.
Let me do it the proper way.
Yeah, and it's very good. I hear it took 2 weeks to shoot, but 2 years to edit.
Wow.
Well, because you have to do all the computer screen. The actual footage doesn't take up much of it.
I guess so. There's only two main characters apparently.
More or less. It's very good.
Starring
Highly recommend.
John Cho and Deborah Messing. That's it.
Yep. It's very, very good. Has lots of twists and turns.
Interesting.
Keeps you guessing till the end. It's very good.
I do like films that keep me guessing.
This will do it. But it's all there. Because how it's set up, it literally is all there in front of you. Because you only see what the hero sees, because it's all done through media reports and the computer screen.
So it's one of those where you could go back and be like, aha.
Oh, 100%. Because by the end, you're already in your mind going back, yes, of course, this, and that. But also has a bit of an unreliable narrator because it's all told through character vignettes and people's own social media presences and things. It's just a very clever film.
And I know I've mentioned this before, but that's the reason I hate Another. It's a very good thriller
I know.
up until the end, and it's like, haha, have some information we didn't tell you till just now.
Yeah, I recommended Another to a friend, but I set him up for, now look, this is not a mystery show, it's just a thriller show, don't worry about it. Enjoy the ride, don't try to figure it out, because it pulls a Sherlock mystery, where it's just like, and here's the answer that you couldn't see coming. It's like, oh, all right. The horror part is good, the mystery part is, don't put your hopes on it.
Don't bother.
But it's a fine show. It's a good show.
It's a good show till the end.
You just don't have your mind set on solving the mystery.
Yeah.
Just enjoy the ride.
Just a bad last 5 minutes. You know what doesn't have a bad 5 minutes?
I'm gonna guess Non Non Biyori.
You are correct.
Since it's literally the name of the show.
You know, I never did figure out what that meant. I didn't try looking it up either.
Non is a sentence ender that is just a kind of like an exclamation point. And Biyori is a perfect day.
Oh.
So this is a very, very perfect day.
Well,
that's basically what it translates to.
Several of them, apparently.
It's a lot of perfect days. It's a very good show. And it has lots of scenery porn. Do you like good backgrounds? This has got them.
It does have good backgrounds.
Exquisite backgrounds. Amazing backgrounds.
So, if you're not familiar with Non Non Biyori...
Okay, do you remember last week?
Yeah.
Last week.
Yes.
Okay, so we had cute girls going to Antarctica.
Uh-huh.
Now, what if you took the same formula, 4 cute girls, but have them do nothing in rural Japan?
You get this show.
You get this show. If you want that, then you're in for a very good time. I will say, Non Non Biyori Repeat, if I recall, is a little funnier than Non Non Biyori, but they're both very good. Non Non Biyori is a little more relaxed.
Yes, I could have done with a little more humor, but I was fine with it.
Repeat, I believe, is more humorous. That's what I remember.
Ah.
I remember liking Repeat a slightly more than the original, but simply because I think it upped the humor aspect.
But yeah, that's essentially the synopsis of the entire show.
Yeah, it's a bunch of cute seasonal vignettes.
Told in the debatable countryside.
I think it's it's very debatable. It's up till debate whether or not they live in the country.
It takes an entire year for them to decide they don't know. Are they in the country? Are they not?
Pretty sure.
Question mark.
I think they're in the country. I'm gonna put out all them. I think they live on the backside of Japan. Is my guess.
Oh, on the western side.
Yes, especially
That's
considering how
sorta
much snow they get. And they're not too far from Tokyo time-wise, so I imagine they're just on the backside of Japan.
Well, most places aren't too far away from Tokyo time-wise.
I mean,
the bullet
true.
train.
She was 2 hours by plane away from Tokyo?
I mean, I'm pretty sure anywhere on Honshu is not more than 6 hours away.
I wouldn't imagine.
So, unless you're driving your old sad car, that's going to take forever.
Yeah.
All those mountain passes.
But I imagine they're in the northern west side of Japan, would be my guess.
Well, there's a small village with this name. I wonder if it's based off a real place. Let's find out.
I mean, they do in the credits. They do give you photos from rural Japan. So
apparently there is the town is called Asahi Gaoka, and there's a station by that name in Miyagi Prefecture.
Where's Miyagi Prefecture? Yeah, that is northern Japan.
It's up near Sendai.
Okay, but that's still on the eastern half.
Yep.
I'd imagine, given their weather, they are on the western half, but
That's probably not too far off. I'll tell you what, though. I would live the crap out of that place.
I know, right?
Every time I watch an episode, I'm like, I want there. I want to be there.
I want to live there. I want to be there.
And all these people that are complaining that's boring, I'm like, you're stupid. I want to live there.
It's like, I want to own mountain. Own me a mountain.
I want to sit in a candy shop and not do anything.
And do jack all. And you can do it too, because the land value there is so bad that you can live off of like $3.
Yeah, just don't try buying anything nice. Or building a house. Because getting stuff there is friggin' expensive. But anyway, I guess we should probably go through the main 4 characters real quick. Just get an idea.
4.8 characters?
No. Unless you're counting Sensei as 0.8.
No, she was 0.5. And then there's 0.3, my favorite character.
Oh. Let me see if I can... Oh, yes.
He's my favorite character.
He's a delight. So, first we have Renge, who's 7 years old.
What I like about the show is that it gives you episodes from different characters' point of views, and it does it very well.
Oh, yeah?
But we start the show off in Renge's point of view.
Where she's off playing her recorder. I will tell you that the very beginning of the show tells you everything you need to know about it. Because the first 3 minutes are Renge playing a recorder very badly while you look at pictures of idyllic scenery. And that's
very
it.
Mediocrely.
Like, yeah, there you go. She's being silly in the country, but not overly silly. Just 7-year-old silly.
It ends with her greeting her friend with Nyan Pasu. Which I'm not sure the literal translation of, but it translates it as meowing.
Instead of mourning.
I mean, oh yeah, I guess so. I guess that's the pun.
I think that was the pun.
That's an English pun, though.
It is. And I've never figured out, because the Pasu has been used in other...
I don't know what Pasu translate to.
Because that joke is done also, I think, in Nishijo with What's-Her-Face.
Is it?
Always botching up Pasu.
Because Nyan is, of course...
cat. Well, meowing.
Password, pasta, pastel. It's gotta be like it's probably some horrible old verb ending.
Oh, probably. Or it's just like country slang.
Yeah. Doesn't give you anything on G Show.
I'll tell you what, though.
With 2 S's. So
the best part about Renge is she actually acts her age.
She does, doesn't she? But she's a little weird. Just a little weird.
Yes. I mean, she's stoic, for a start. Unless she doesn't want to be. In which case, she's very excited about whatever it is.
And she has an odd sense of humor. But not, like, way out of line for a slightly weird 7-year-old.
Like I said, she's 7. Hanging around kids, you get all kinds of weird non-sequiturs. A lot.
Well, especially considering she has, like, no one else her age to hang out with. So she's just kind of odd.
Next we have Hotaru, who is the transfer student. She's a 5th grade student who's 11 years old.
But she's the only person of this whole gang that's gone through puberty.
I don't believe that she's 11 years old. Not in the slightest.
Oh, well.
Especially after that beach episode.
Not to worry about too much. Yeah, it's best not to worry about that one too much. I do like how even Sensei is like, are you sure you're a 5th grader? We will assume 2 things. 1, she was held back, and 2, she hit puberty early. It's the only way to make
now, I will say that in 6th grade, we had a couple girls that developed about like she did. But that's a year after her. So I don't know what happened with Hotaru here.
Yeah, well.
Something.
Yeah, she hit puberty early.
She's eating well.
Tell you what, though. One of the best episodes is definitely when Hotaru and Komari hang out and each one thinks the other is the adult.
Isn't that like...
And it is very good.
Is that the first episode or the second one? Because
I think it's the second... No, it is the first one.
It's so weird.
No, it's number 2. It's number 2. We went to a candy store. It's a very good bit.
And that's when you realize that this is going to be a running gag throughout the entire show, where Hotaru has the hugest crush on Koma.
Oh, I love it.
Like, the biggest, bordering on creepiest crush.
It's pretty good.
I mean, she only has all those dolls.
All those dolls. At least they're not creepy dolls.
That you think she's going to give up after she initially gets found out. But then,
everybody
episode,
just writes it off.
She's still making them. Always improving, she says.
They do more gags with her little dolls in repeat.
Oh my. Those dolls. They are adorable dolls. However, she does have like 1,000 of them.
I like the New Year's edition.
That was a good one. That was her best one.
And then there's the two sisters.
You got Natsumi and Komari. Natsumi is, you could call her rebellious and carefree, but she's kind of a jerk. I'll be honest. She's caring, but she's not very nice.
Yeah, she's kind of, well, she's like what, like 13, 14?
I think she's, she's 13, because Komari's
She's old
14.
enough to have developed a personality, but young enough to not know what empathy is.
Yeah. She talks back to her mother. She continuously rags on her older sister, much to her chagrin, because her older sister, Komari, is shorter and...
Very short.
Yeah, she's like 5... No, she's like 4'8".
They give her height in centimeters,
Yes.
but I didn't bother to fix it.
She's
to
4'7".
find out what it was.
That's what it was.
Oh, she's so tiny.
And I like the episode where they point that out, because Sensei's like, yeah, that's really average for people your age. And then she says out loud, although she's trying to think it for the Meiji era.
But I also like, it's like, don't tell me that. I was padding quite a bit, not even a little. She's like rounding up like 5 times to get to that number.
Yeah.
Poor Komari.
Oh my. I think Komari's my favorite character, because
she's pretty good. She's pretty put upon, but she remains chipper nonetheless.
She's extremely self-conscious of her overall appearance.
Well, because she's like the oldest.
Well, yeah, she's the oldest.
What,
she's supposed to be like, she wants to be an adult. She wants to...
She's a middle school senior? Is that what it is?
She's a second year middle schooler. So she'd be a junior.
So that's, for us, would be 8th grade.
Yeah, yes. That would be 8th grade.
Yes, because the whole premise of the show is, of course, that they all are... This is the entire school body of the school.
Yeah.
Are these 4 girls.
Those 4 girls.
Well,
and Nissan.
Plus Nissan, my favorite character, who is Natsume and Komari's older brother.
He's also there.
Junior high senior. He's a 9th grader, so he's a American freshman. And he is there as the perfect non-entity. I like how there will be scenes in the show where you think they have forgotten about him, and then in like some cutaway or something,
like the eye catch,
show you what he's up to. Yeah, in the eye catch, they'll show you what he's up to. Like when they all have to sleep over at the school and they're arguing about who has to sleep in what futons. You're like, what about brother? It's like,
I actually wrote that down. I was like, where's he at? And then, yeah, he's in the nurse's office, bunking up with a skeleton.
Sleeping with the skeleton.
As you do.
As one does. Nissan is my favorite. And the one time he talks...
You can't hear him because he's playing guitar too loud.
It's very good. It's a good joke.
It's a very good joke.
But that's the entire school body of this tiny town's... it's not even like a school. It's like a branch school off of another one.
Is it? I didn't catch that part.
Right, because it's a branch school is what it's called.
Oh.
So it's part of a larger school system, but they're in such backwater that this is it.
I do like how big that building is.
They're all in one room.
That building is huge.
Yeah. Well, because you can tell that it used to be, bigger.
We do have the sensei, who's Renge's older sister. Well, one of her older sister.
Just the best worst.
She's the best teacher. In that, because everybody is in different grades, they basically all study on their own. And so she spends most of the time taking a nap, or not paying attention, or being somewhere else.
I love her. That's my dream job right there.
Just hanging out.
Get paid to be a glorified babysitter.
You guys do the school thing and don't die. I'll be over here. I'll occasionally ring this bell. That's about it. That's my job.
Play the chimes. Because they don't even bother with the PA system.
Play the chimes. Oh, well, she does take them on field trips from time to time. Like,
a literal field trip. A literal trip to a field. She John Henrys her entire classroom.
It's very educational. You don't know.
I mean, it is for where they live is very educational.
Especially when she has that machine. We have a couple other minor characters, but the one I really like is I guess her official name is Kaede, mom. But she's just known as Candy Store.
Oh yes,
Dagasha.
She's good too.
She's just a 20-year-old who went to this school. She's a kohai of senpai or sensei over here, and now she runs the local candy store, and that's it. She runs the candy store.
Tiny, and she is very terse and brush, but will melt for Renge.
Well, because of course, Renge's so cute.
We all melt for Renge.
She's adorable.
Or Rin-chan. She is adorable. She's very good.
So, of the side characters, besides Nissan, who is your favorite?
Besides Nissan, you're like I mean, you've told us who your favorite is, but of
the
discounting your favorite, who's your favorite? I'll go with Natsume and Komari's mom.
Oh, yes. Who can appear out of nowhere.
Who is a right terror.
Oh my goodness. Hang on. I took a great screenshot of this. Let's see if it actually uploaded to Dropbox.
She's very good.
My favorite scene, or at least snapshot, is this one. Where
Yes.
Natsume
It's very good.
has decided that she's tricked her mom, gotten all of her bad tests
that's
hidden
a
away
very good
by her
bit.
sister, and her mom's gone off to clean the futons in her room. And she asked her sister.
That whole scene is brilliant.
So,
it's very well paced.
Where'd you end up hiding those tests? And she's like,
In your closet.
in your closet.
Under the futons.
And then there's just this still watercolor of death raining upon an unassuming Natsume.
Armageddon, as they call it. It's very good.
It's very good. This whole show has really great, really good material for My Face Win. This is probably my favorite
yeah.
one.
Yeah, this is a good one.
That one right there, where they're talking about fashion, and Koma has no idea what they're talking
It's
about.
very good.
Let's talk about fashion now.
Yet another good scene. There's so many good little vignettes. The funny ones are very funny, and the calming, happy ones are very calming.
Sweet.
And then I think, and repeat just sort of ups the proportion of funny to sweet.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah. No, repeat's really good. It's well worth a watch.
Another good thing this show does, and you pointed this out, is that it's bundled its episodes into little groups of 3 that represent each season.
Yeah, since you can't really have arcs in a show like this, its arcs are basically 3. Each season has basically three episodes worth of vignettes in each season. The first 3 episodes are all springy episodes.
Yeah, because they go out and look at cherry trees and such.
Yeah, or in the top half of the Japanese semester.
So for the first 3 episodes, we get the nice entry into the show with Renge playing the recorder over pictures of idyllic scenery, which just make me jealous of not being able to live there.
I know, right? Hey, at least you still live in rural Indiana. Granted, I'm pretty close to the mountains now, so if I just go north, though we are planning to take a road trip out to the peninsula, which I'm very happy to do.
Well, there you go.
It's supposed to be beautiful out that way.
So I noted in episode 1, right off the bat, we're gonna ignore this brother guy, aren't we? Because he never says anything.
But in a good jokey way.
Especially once he falls through the floor in the first episode.
Did you notice in the last episode?
What, did he fall through the floor again?
No. When they start school when it cycles around to being the beginning of the school year again by episode 12.
So he would have graduated, right?
He would have, but there's an interior shot of the hallway, and there's boards over where they fell through.
Oh.
So him falling through is canon. It was not a gag.
Nice. So in the second episode, we find out. Well, I think we get more sensei in this episode, and we also get the little vignette with Koma and Hotaru going on
That's such a good
date together, although they have no idea. Well,
that's
Hotaru knows
so
who
good.
Koma is, but Koma thinks that Hotaru is just some weird Tokyo lady who's shown up.
Some weird Tokyo lady who has shown up because of how fashionable Hotaru can be, since she has real clothes. But all the time they're out trying to out-impress the other because each one thinks the other is the senpai in the situation.
There's so many misunderstandings.
When they order the shaved ice and it's
Neither one of them
Give
actually
me-
want it.
yeah, because they're we'll both show how mature our flavors are.
It's so bitter. But if it's what the other one likes, then I'll eat
it's
it.
red bean and
miso, I think. No, it's not
yeah.
miso, it's green tea.
Yeah, but it's green tea and I think it's green tea with red bean.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think it has a little bit of sweet, but it's mostly bitter. And they're both just I'll show how adult I am by eating this bitter thing. And the other one's well, she's being an adult and eating this bitter thing, so I guess I must like it too.
Of course. No peer pressure here.
Very good.
I did like the beginning, though, with Sensei. She has quite a sharp tongue on her when she wants to. There's just a short exchange between her and Natsume. And Natsume's like, Renge's done with her homework, and so she's going to go outside and play. How about I just get up and play? And Sensei's like, well, are you finished with your work yet? She's like, nope, I'm just finished. And Sensei says, well, if you're finished as a human being, I can't really stop you.
It's very good. It's so
Wow.
terrible. It's man, that's harsh, but true.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, so episode 3 is when they go on the field trip out to the field.
To the literal field.
And I have to tell you, when they went out to the field, this video from a guy in Alabama who was talking about going out and to a field trip picking cotton immediately came to my mind, and I had to go watch it again before I finished that episode. Have you seen this?
No, but I'm watching it now.
Oh my goodness.
This is terrible.
I know, right? See? They were just going to have some fun in the field.
I guess so. Wow. Man, what a story.
I know, right?
Yeesh.
Oh, so yeah, when they went out to plant rice, and it turns out Sensei just wanted them to plant rice for her, I was like, oh, I've heard this story before.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my goodness. Especially when it then turns out that she was just doing an experiment to find out if planting it by hand was faster than machine. Turns out machine's faster.
It's faster. Y'all can go home.
Oh, my.
Oh, Lord.
What season's next? It's obviously summertime, which is episodes 4 through 6.
Can we talk about the scare? Can we talk about how Natsume talks herself into existential dread?
Oh, Koma? Yes. Koma definitely.
No, Koma doesn't. Koma's good.
Oh, yeah,
it was Natsume trying to to comfort Komari.
You're right.
Yeah, because Komari stays up all night watching scary movies because she had rented them from the video store, and she needs to watch them all before she returns them. But she's still a little kid at heart, so gets like very scared of them and has to go sleep with Natsume. And Natsume's like, haha, ghosts aren't real. And then Komari is like, yeah, you're right. And then it puts her right to sleep. But then Natsume's like,
wait a minute.
But if the ghosts aren't real and the other side's not real, do we just all fade to blackness and nothingness when we die?
And then she lies awake the rest of the night.
She lays awake the rest of the night. And she ends up being the one late to school because she couldn't fall asleep. It's very good.
Oh, welcome to Existential Dread. So yeah, then summertime comes. This is a really good joke right out of the gate on episode 4, because they all get their report cards, and Renge gets hers.
Oh, yes.
And it's all like 5s and 4s. And she's like, hooray, I did really well. And then Natsume's like, I'm really dreading what mine is. And she opens hers, and it's all 5s and 4s. She's
like, 4s. It's like, oh yeah, I did really well. I don't know how I pulled that out.
I'm so relieved.
And then just offhandedly, the sensei's like, so the elementary schools are out of 5, but middle schoolers are out of 10. So do keep that in mind. She's just like,
more existential dread.
Especially when it's like, she's like proudly proclaiming, it's like, I got all 5s too. And just like, as soon as that happens, it reminds Sensei.
Oh my. Poor Natsume.
Solid.
But she brings it on herself.
She does, doesn't she?
Oh, this is where we also meet Hikage, which is the middle sister between Renge and Sensei.
This is another exquisite gag.
Where she comes back from the big city Tokyo.
From the big city Tokyo.
And just really wants to rub it in everybody's face. It's like, I know things.
And then Hotaru comes in.
She's like, I rode a bullet train. It's got seats and it's got armrests. And Hotaru walks in. She's like, oh, I'm from Tokyo too. It's like, oh, have you ever read The Bullet Train? Well, no. Oh, well, let me tell you all about it. It's got cup holders. And she's like, oh, I just took the plane.
And then they all go to the other room to hear Hotaru talk about planes. And Hikage's just standing there.
Talking to the wall.
And just slowly, it's just like, and they come by with a little thing of sweets to sell you. Still frozen in the position with her hands on 2 phantom shoulders.
So sad. Actually, what's really sad is the next
Speaking of sad, yeah.
So this is the like a third of this episode. Maybe not even that.
But it's very sweet and very sad, but very good.
This little girl, who's Renge's age, shows up. Her name's Honoka, and they become friends. Suddenly, Renge has this friend to go and hang out with all the time. They spend several days together, exploring, taking pictures of stuff, and then she gets up super early on like a Sunday or something when she doesn't have to.
To take her to go see a waterfall.
And she runs to Honoka's house. Her grandma answers the door, and she just says, oh, sorry, she's not here. Her dad had to leave suddenly on a business trip, but she'll be back next summer. And then the camera just lingers on
it just
Renge's
takes
face.
so long. It like really rubs it in. And it's so well like animated too, where you can just really tell it's like this is the first time something like emotionally devastating has happened to Renge.
Yep.
And like she doesn't know how to process it for a long, long time. And her little 7-year-old brain just has to default to, I guess I cry now because this is very sad for me and I don't know how I'm feeling. And it's at one time very sweet and another very sad, but it's very good.
Somehow in 5 minutes, the show got me to have all kinds of feels that most shows take like a whole episode or a whole arc
right?
to get me to. And
Well,
it's just,
like
looking at this little girl's face.
It's just this little girl who like just has never had to process something like this before.
She's had the simple pleasure and it's been taken away from her.
And she just doesn't know how to handle it yet.
But it's all right because then Honoka writes her a letter and everything's fine.
Yes. And then Renge immediately wants to write a letter back. It's very cute because she gets a little photo of her and the little girl.
It's adorable. Episode 5 is the beach episode.
Beach episode, it's slightly problematic.
I had forgotten, before we get to the beach part, I had forgotten that radio calisthenics was a thing. I know,
right?
Going,
it's like such like a little kid
This seems
thing to
really
do.
familiar. Where have I seen this? And then I couldn't remember. Like it was blanked out of my head.
Azumanga.
No, it's Hyoka.
Oh, in Hyoka?
There was a whole episode where they went to that country hotel and there was not a ghost.
Oh, yes. And the little girls do radio calisthenics. Yeah. You're right.
Like, yeah, I remember that.
Oh, so you did remember something from Hyoka.
And ironically, you did not.
And I didn't. Yeah, well, I didn't remember the the specifics. The irony is palpable.
So yeah, in this episode, it's like told explicitly, by the way, Hotaru's a 5th grader. She's 11. While she's wearing a bikini.
She hit puberty early, okay? Thankfully, it doesn't get gross about it. It just makes some very lighthearted jokes about it, but not in a gross way.
Well, it helps that there are no boy characters at all.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Where it's just...
Nissan's there, but he's been buried, so it's fine.
He immediately gets... The girls see him in a snorkel, and they're like, hey, you know what's more fun? Let's bury his face in the sand, but he can still breathe.
And then just leave him.
And the punch of the episode, you're waiting the whole time for them to forget Nissan somewhere, but they don't. They forget someone else.
Yep. And the best reaction to this is Sensei, because she's like, oh, actually, it's summer vacation, so I'm not technically your sensei, so I don't have any responsibility on this. You guys
when
go
Koma
find
gets
her.
lost?
Yeah.
Yep.
You guys go deal with it.
No, Koma doesn't get lost. She just gets mistaken for a lost child.
As you do.
Because she's so short. And that's when they announce her actual height, that she was not padding.
I do like when they're going home on the train, and they stop off that ramen shop. The old spice and switch trick that Natsumi tries to pull.
Good. That is another very good bit.
Her conscience, after she pulls this on her poor sister.
It's not her conscience. It's Renge staring at her. And
well, yeah,
like,
it gets gut punched by Renge just staring at her. Like, what are you doing? Why would you do that? And Natsumi's like, you're right. I'll flip him back and I'll tough through it. And it turns out Renge was just looking at a fly on the thing.
Looking at a bug.
That's a weird bug. Look at that.
Oh, how good.
And then they leave Sensei on the station. Because that's what she gets for sleeping.
Because, yeah.
Shouldn't sleep like that. So episode 6 is where we get the tests are hidden and Armageddon coming down. Yeah, I will. We should point out how fast Nichan can actually move.
Oh, very. He is very quick. He is lightning. I mean, he's had to avoid his mother all these years. He's gotten good at it.
Where are your test scores? Where'd he go? I don't know where he went.
Also, how Nissan like ninjas the test of courage.
Of course.
Flipping out poor Koma.
Poor Koma. Speaking of poor Koma, this is where we find out about Hotaru's issues. We know that she made a doll.
Komori plushie.
Now we know that she's made hundreds of dolls.
So many. I like the ones she's strung up from the ceiling as if they are flying.
Hotaru, what's wrong with you? You have some things to work through, I think.
She does, doesn't she?
What's great is during this scene, they all come over to her house and she has to hide all the Koma dolls away lest somebody find them. And Renge's like, ooh, we should play house. Okay, so you, Hotaru, you'll be the demon. I'll be the flying fish. And what's funny about that is in this particular scene, in this context, Hotaru really is the demon.
Yeah.
But then the dolls all fall out of her chest of drawers where she's hidden them. Nobody's really fazed by it, which is weird. They're like, ooh, you sew. That's neat.
Well, because Renchan quickly comes up with, oh, you were doing this for the work from home study program.
She's like, yes, that is it. You've got it. let's all do it now. So they all try to sew. This is also the episode this is where they all go up to the shrine to do a test of courage, and one of them has to be a ghost and scare everybody else. So Koma's like, I'll be the ghost because I always get scared, and if I'm the ghost, I'll do the scaring.
I'll do the scaring. Yep. But the ghost is the one that's all alone in the dark.
Yep. So I assumed that they were just going to leave her there by herself.
Oh, no, they're not that mean. I do like how it's well within Natsume's nature. She has made this box of scary things.
Yeah.
And there's a sheet ghost, and the sheet ghost sheet is just a white sheet with 2 markered in black eyes. They are not cutouts.
Which Koma doesn't realize until she's put it on and has no idea where she is.
It's very good.
And then she totally scares herself, and everybody walks by her while she's completely terrified. But it's okay, because later they do sparklers, which had some really realistic animation.
Well, that's because they did film with filter.
I know. I just thought it was funny. Let's see. Then we have fall. Episode 7. It's the first day of school, back from summer break. Guess who's not there?
Sensei! She slept in.
It's Sensei. She's not there.
Oh, this is the episode where they get locked into the rabbit pen.
They do. On the way home, Hotaru and Renge are like, let's stop off at the rabbit pen. Oh, look, one's escaped. I know. We'll lure him back with corn and such, and then we'll stand inside the pen with carrots. And once he comes back for the corn, we'll give him a carrot, and he'll come in here, and it'll be great. And the rabbit comes back, and he's like,
screw you guys.
And locks him inside. This is also the first time we get to see Candy Store Lady.
For like a full episode.
Yeah. Rain comes over and wants to watch shows with her. What's weird is in this particular episode, Candy Store seems to think that Ren is sort of an annoyance a little bit.
Well, she is a bit of one.
And then you find out later
adorable one.
That's not really what she thinks.
Well, it both is and isn't, right? She puts on a tough face around Renge, but really she's just...
You're so cute.
She is so cute.
Episode after that is where Koma wants so bad to be grown up because she's 14 and should know all these grown up things. But she has no idea. Oh, it's so good. Well, she's bought herself a CD player. It's really cool.
Why not an MP3 player?
Well,
what's that?
I don't know what that is.
She doesn't know what it is.
So she's like, okay, you guys should stop talking about... This is one of the neighbors, Konomi, has come over.
Who she goes into this actual city to go to school. She doesn't go to the branch.
And so she and Hotaru start talking about what kind of music they like. And they're like, oh yeah, I like classical, I like Bach, I like this other thing. And Koma's like, I like the one song. And they're like, isn't that a kid's song? It's like, is it? Okay, stupid topic. Let's talk about fashion instead. Okay. And she can't even pronounce the name of her newest accessory correctly. She thinks it's a choo-choo train.
A choo-choo.
Actually, the best part about this, there's 2 parts. One is they're like, okay, this is stupid. Let's talk about fashion anymore. Let's talk about love stories. Let's talk about love stories. I'll go first.
Love experiences.
Oh wait, I don't. Okay, Hotaru, you go first. And they're like, yeah, Hotaru, is there anyone you like? And she's like, well, just staring at Koma. Koma's like, could you not? Whatever you're doing right now. The second part there is her mom comes in and is like, oh, I brought you guys some refreshments. I brought you coffee. Koma's like, oh, good, coffee. How much sugar do you want yours, Hotaru? And Hotaru's like, oh no, I take mine black, like my men.
It's very good.
And I was like, okay,
it's just more
okay,
like now Hotaru being the adult here.
I'm like, you've broken realism here now. No 11-year-old takes their coffee black. That's ridiculous.
Hotaru does. Is she really 11?
I don't know. I think she's 20. Episode after that is the cafe culture festival with the cafe.
Oh yes, we had ourselves a culture festival. Did they? I'm a Yuma.
I will tell you, the best part for me about that entire episode is
Nissan in the doghouse.
There is that. Not gonna lie. But I think for me, it was this very long build up of we're gonna have a cultural festival. Let's get everybody to come in from Tokyo and here, there, and yon actually show up. Really build up this cafe that we've got going on. And then they open the door and it's Natsume in a robot hat and she just goes, oos. Oos. I actually had to pause. I was laughing so hard.
I mean, it is a good joke because you're just really not expecting it. Especially when you're like, okay, so it's like a cosplay cafe because Who greets them? It's Renge as a giraffe, quote unquote,
And Hotaru is a cat.
Hotaru is a cat.
And Natsumi is apparently a robot.
But no, she's an Uma. She is an unidentified, mysterious animal, I think is what it is.
Something like that. Oh my goodness.
And she's the one who wanted to do it in the first place. And it just slowly devolves. Like, they don't even make anything for the cafe because the two people go backstage and they have, like, meltdowns.
It's like this delightful comedy of errors.
Oh, yeah, it's so good.
And then we get the shot of Nissan. He's a dog, turns out. And you saw him at the beginning building some sort of house. You're not really sure what that is. And then you just see him off to the side once. Faithful dog. There's another good bit in this episode where they go over to help Natsumi clean her room, and they find some old videotapes, and they're like, "Ooh, we should watch these videotapes of these old shows that we watched." And Koma's like, "Is this one of the ones we taped over?" And she's like,
"It's very good.
I don't think so.
Why was it? It's a good like comeuppance for Natsume. Oh, because they're looking through the their old toys, and they find like a letter Koma wrote when she was a little kid.
Yeah, she's like a first grader, and it was silly things like
I want
to be a flower when I grow up. I think.
Yeah, like I want to grow up to be a flower. Some such nonsense. It's like something like any little kid would say.
But then we watch this tape, and it's Natsume playing in the backyard. She's like, "Woo, I'm a little kid," and then she sees Nissan. She's like, "Hey, it's Nissan. I love you, Nissan. I'm gonna marry you when I grow up.
I'm gonna marry you when I grow up." And she just like dashes over there and like hits the stop, and it just is frozen for moments.
This long, awkward pause.
To their credit, neither Koma nor the neighbor girl like actually make fun of her for it.
They don't need to. It's being done all by herself. It's like if you just stopped it and laughed it off, that would have been one thing. But you stopped and then froze, and now everybody knows exactly what's happening. It's very sad.
It's very good. And then, like, they go to playing games, and, like, they try to cheer her up by saying the same thing. It's like, it's something every little kid would do.
Doesn't help.
It's fine.
Doesn't help. And then we get to winter. So the first episode of the winter arc is...
It's just a very good, relaxing, cute episode.
They go to see the first sunrise of the New Year's.
And this is probably the only episode that is like that would be like a one reel episode and not like a vignette Yonkoma-y thing, because it's like one well told complete story.
No, it's
very good. If you watch nothing else of the show, if you want a good like how this show works, like episode 10 is just a good one to watch.
It basically centers on candy store lady remembering the first time she had to babysit for Rinke, and it's adorable
because how old they are now, because they go up to watch the New Year's the New Year's sunrise.
There's a lot of doll going on.
It is.
Also, Rin is adorable in her mittens. Oh my goodness.
Yes.
She's mittens.
And I like how the only one who can't keep up with the group isn't Renge.
It's Sensei.
But Sensei, because she's very bad at it.
What a shock. So what happens when you spend all your time sleeping, not
napping,
doing things.
All them naps.
So episode 11 is the one where they get snowed into the school.
Yes.
And they find a couple of futons. But that's about it.
Literally, just two.
And a sleeping bag.
I like the ways they try to divvy up the sleeping arrangements, because there's 5 of them, and there's 2 futons and a sleeping bag. Sensei, of course, immediately says, "We'll have to decide who gets the sleeping bag," she says, crawling into a futon and immediately falling into her deep, deep sleep.
And then they have all those ridiculous contests, which Hotaru wins pretty much every single one of them.
Every single one, but they try and do another one.
Because she really wants to sleep with Koma-chan.
Next to.
Whatever.
Koma-chan.
You know.
Snuggle up and be cozy with her senpai.
I will say that after a while, she and Natsumi start butting heads, and then they realize, wait a minute, there's an elegant solution to this.
Which is stuff Sensei into the freaking sleeping bag.
Upside down.
She's out like a light anyway.
Then there's a sketch where they go skiing.
That's good too. Remember, I rose my hand when I asked who hasn't.
Of course, Natsumi's
before.
Never been skiing before, and yet she tries to teach everybody else how to ski. Ugh,
it's very good.
What a dip.
She is such the person who would do that.
And then we get to the last episode, which started out. I was like, "Ooh, is this the fabled Hotaru Koma Dato episode?" Turns out it is.
It is. It's very good, too.
They both made each other bento boxes.
She is very long-suffering.
The whole lead up to the final joke of that is very nice. Koma has made this bento box, but she has burned the crap
It's so
out of
bad.
everything.
Well, just the like walking back of Hotaru describing what noodles she is eating.
Yeah, she's like, "Oh, this is squid ink noodles,
Squid
right?"
ink noodles. It's like, no,
they're just
they're
yakisoba.
regular yakisoba. Well, I love crispy yakisoba. No, it's just regular yakisoba. And just the crunch sound as she bites into it, where she just like doesn't mention anything, but you, the viewer, just hear the crunching, and you're like, "That's not."
Well, and then she finishes.
That's not how that goes.
Everything. Like, she's trying so
she does.
hard, and
Bless
she's finished
her
everything.
heart.
She's like, "I know that I shouldn't have done that, but I've toughed through it. It's all for Koma's sake, but I just couldn't eat another bite." And Koma's like, "Also, I made pancakes, but I used the the octopus ball batter for the pancakes. I hope you don't mind."
No, Okonomiyaki's different.
Oh.
That's this like that's the cabbage pizza.
Oh, that's worse.
The cabbage. No, because the mix itself.
No, I mean it's even thicker than what I thought.
Oh yeah. No, it's super thick.
So
I love.
She's got this
Okonomiyaki.
whole
It's
box
so
of the
good.
stuff with like a thick syrupy glaze on top.
Oh,
And Koma's like,
a weird caramel
do you want
sauce.
this too?
Oh no, it's got to be like syrup because she's like it's pancakes for dessert.
Oh, that's right. And Hotaru's like, I have to politely refuse. I know it's gonna be tough, but I have to. And when she opens her eyes to say no, Koma's like, open wide. And she's like, ah.
I'm gonna eat it now. Too adorable. Can't disappoint senpai.
She was probably.
Oh, poor her.
I was expecting her to be dead after that.
Oh, you would think.
100% dead.
She just has a really high look, it's like a juice cleanse, but like a carbon cleanse. Look, if carbon filters work well for water, it works well for your body, okay? That's all I have to say.
That makes sense. I can't fault your logic there.
Exactly, see?
And we get the final sketch of this season. All the adults go to basically clear a mountain pass because that's what you do once it starts warming up after winter in the mountains. And all the kids go off to play. I will point out that this is the first time that a man speaks in this show.
Yeah, more or less.
Hotaru's
yeah,
dad shows up and says basically hi. And I was kind of annoyed by that because like you've got this running gag going. And I was
but only Nissan.
I was expecting as soon as a man showed up and said something, it would be silly. Something silly would happen. But nothing did.
No, the joke is just Nissan never speaks.
I suppose.
It's almost better if other people do, because then it's not just like a weird thing, it's just Nissan silent.
Okay, so here's where we get, I think, the best explanation of Rin's sense of humor. Because they go out exploring, all the kids do, and they find this field full of flowers. And she's like, ooh, look at all these pretty flowers. And Natsumi's like, Rin-gay. And Rin turns around and she's like, you used my real name. What's happened between you and me in the last few moments?
When did we get so close? Well, not just that, but just like, oh, these edible wild plants are named after me, because that's the name of the plant is a renge flower. She's like, that makes me like them more, but now I don't want to eat them because they're me. Just like her weird, morose, strange little sense of humor. It's very good.
It's okay though, because Natsumi turns into
like her. Like when they're in the Snow House episodes, when they're doing the little contests, and one of the contests is impersonations, and
she's
Ringe is, of course, queen of impersonations, and she's just like, she puts her hands over her head like a YMCA A, and just kind of turns slightly, leans over a little bit like she's doing like a yoga pose, and just like, I'm a pyramid.
Good impression. Very well done.
Oh, okay. And then later in the same thing, she's like, well, it's not really an impersonation unless you're trying to be a person. She's like, but you were just a pyramid.
But she's not a participant.
And then we get the cutest version of Renge, which is
Fairy Renge?
Queen Renge.
That?
And it is too cute. Too cute for words.
Fairy Renge is best Renge. Bar done.
Too adorable.
I'm surprised those leaves stayed in her overalls for so long.
Yeah, well.
She ran quite a while with those.
Something. She did, didn't she? Best not to worry about too much. The power of cute helped them stay on.
Very nice show. Would live there, 100%.
I know, right? If only.
Someday I will just move there and not speak a word of Japanese and just be like, I live here now. Don't mind me.
I mean, you could move to Montana and achieve the same result.
Does it have mountains?
Yeah, of course it does.
Does it have idyllic scenery?
Yeah. It's called Big Sky Country.
Running
streams? You know what also it doesn't have? A speed limit.
It doesn't have a speed limit.
You're also, from what I understand, they also don't have open container laws there.
I also believe when you get there, you're given a copy of the Constitution and a rifle.
Legally obligated to buy a rifle. Yeah, I think so.
I think that's how it works.
But yeah, Montana, from as far as I understand, does not have open container laws because the roads are so empty that the only one you're endangering is literally yourself and maybe a moose, and the moose will survive.
The moose will definitely live.
So, have at it.
Oh, dear. But yeah, good show. Should watch.
It's very good. It's very calming. It's like Aria, but...
I don't even like slice of life shows, and yet...
That's the scenery, man, right?
It was just nice.
It's very good. And it has just enough jokes. Like, I like Aria a lot, but Aria is like 90% calming, 10% jokes.
Yeah, they're like no
where
jokes.
this is like 50-50, and Repeat is like 60-40, if I recall.
I may have to watch Repeat on my own time.
Repeat's really good. It's not a sequel, it's literally just the same show again.
Is it? It's not like the next
Yeah,
year?
it has yep, nope. It has different vignettes, but yeah.
From the same year?
Yep.
Oh, how about that?
So it's a little weird, but whatever.
Whatever.
And it's mostly from Renge's point of view, if I recall correctly.
Well, that would make sense.
I mean, it makes sense since Renge is... she's really the star of the
Totes
show.
adorbs,
To be
as you would
honest.
say.
Yeah.
So, what should we watch next week?
What should we watch next week? I thought we had decided... Oh, we were going to watch Orange.
Oh, that's right. We're going to watch Orange. We should watch Orange. All right, so next time we will watch Orange, and hopefully not be thoroughly depressed by the end of it.
That's a happy ending, like how your name has a happy ending, right?
Or like Anohana has a happy ending. There's resolution.
Look, I've never come closer to crying than Anohana. That show is... Oh, man. Man, that show's harsh. Is that 13 episodes?
Even if it is, I'm just vetoing it right now.
You've been through that once and never again?
No thanks. I don't need that kind of sadness in my life.
Or we could just do Non Non Biyori repeat, but act like we have not done Non Non Biyori.
Like we haven't seen this one. Alright, so we'll see you next time.